Hey, it's Dr. Deb Matthew here, president of the North Carolina Integrative Medical Society. And I am so excited to be talking today to Sachin Patel, who's going to be joining us again. He's back by popular demand for the Southeast Regional Integrative Medicine Conference, and he's going to share some great tips with us for how we and our patients can really thrive. So Sachin, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Well, first and foremost, thank you, Deborah. I appreciate the opportunity the first time, and I also greatly appreciate the opportunity to come back and share with your tribe and audience, and build a greater community of people that can serve with love. That's the ultimate thing that I hope to get across when I'm on that stage, and even in this conversation. Is if we can serve with love, then everyone wins. The patient wins, the practitioner wins, and the community wins as well. And that's what it means for me to be a practitioner and patient advocate, to make sure that everyone wins when functional medicine practitioners and integrative practitioners get to work with their communities. And that's what we should want. We should want to create a business or a practice or a setting that the entire community wants to succeed. And if we can do that, as practitioners, we're going to have a much higher likelihood of creating success without burnout. If your community wants you to win and wants you to stay in business, I promise you'll stay in business. And so the key for me is looking at how everyone can win. And I found that to be a very good success formula that we can hang our hat on and be proud of creating. So now I help practitioners do that. And I also help patients kind of look at health from a different perspective and teach them how to become more self-empowered with their health. Because at the end of the day, nobody should care about your health more than you do. I'm sure there might be people that do, right? Certainly, I know that I probably care about my son's health more than he does right now. But at the end of the day, it's his decision. And I give him that full permission. When he asks me if he wants to eat something, I ask him, it's your body. You've got to decide. I'm not always going to be here. And then he always makes the right decision. So it's our responsibility to do that and create that better world. And I'm glad that, you and I and the rest of the crew has partnered on this journey to really help as many people do that as possible.
Now, there are a lot of patients who would like to be well, but they really struggle. They're stuck on prescription medications. They don't know what to do. What are some of the challenges that you see for people, the general public, to find their way to this kind of information?
Well, I think first and foremost, it's our beliefs and our values, which will guide what we search for. Right? So if our value system is such that we believe in traditional allopathic medicine, and believe me, there's a time and place, and believe me, it saved my life and people that I love very dearly. So I have a very deep respect for that, but there's also a time and place when that isn't appropriate, right? There's a time when you take your car to a tuner versus a car wash versus, going to a mechanic versus going to an auto body shop, right? And if you go to the wrong place for the wrong reason, you're not going to get the result that you're looking for. So we need all of those. We need tuners, we need car washes, we need mechanics, we need auto body shops. But we also need to empower people to know where to go when they need which particular service that they need. So our value system and our current paradigm is going to influence who we go see, and it's going to influence what we type into Google. It's going to influence the type of research that we do. So I think first and foremost, we have to let people know that there are alternatives, that there is something different that you can do. And then my next level of the philosophy is to really stop getting them to search outside of them for answers and start searching inside for answers and asking themselves, not how can I find a better doctor, but how can I become a better patient? And so if we can do that, if we can get practitioners to help get their message out there more effectively, so people start changing their search criteria, they start searching what they're looking for, and then we can get the patient to also search and work on the inside and be empowered. And if you put those two people together in a room, you're going to have magic that's going to start happening. And so when that magic happens, people get healthier. The practitioner feels more empowered to help more people, right? So their confidence goes up and their ability to grow and influence their community starts to grow up. And now we have communities that are starting to become healthier. And there's leadership example, because as practitioners, we've got to be able to take care of ourselves, and we've got to model what we want that to look like for our communities. So the only way to win in this scenario is for practitioners to become healthier, lead by example, patients to become healthier, and then partner with practitioners who have a very deep belief that when I empower this patient, that's when I get the best results. And then also the value system of the practitioner, in my opinion, should also include, what am I teaching this patient? So even if I have a magic pill and I give that magic pill to somebody and all their problems go away, well, a couple of things happen. One, I've somehow convinced them that, I've got to give them this pill to fix their problem, even if it's all natural. I've also convinced their children who are watching every single behavior that, hey, if you want to feel good again, you've got to take a pill versus learning an actual skill. But if I teach the family member a skill set, they're going to model that skill set to the entire family, and the entire family is going to benefit. So that's how you can create intergenerational changes. When I had my son 9 years ago, it's amazing how quickly they grow up. He's turning into a little man now. And so when I had him 9 years ago, I'm like, what healthcare system do I want for my son? Right. And do I want him to get sick and then go see a natural holistic healthcare provider? Or do I want him not to be sick in the first place? Right. Which one, if I could choose, which one would I want? And the decision was very clear to me. I'd rather him be healthy, right, for as long as possible. And when he needs somebody, then I want that person to have to do as little work as possible, right? Maybe we've got to buff out a scratch versus replacing the entire front end, right?
Right.
And certainly those are two different people that you got to go see for those things, right?
Yeah. But I
So,
love that analogy, the car
thank
wash
you.
versus the tuner versus the auto body, et cetera. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, and that it's all to say that there's a place for everybody. We don't have to be like everything, and we don't have to, like, you can't expect the car wash guy to be talking down to the mechanic, right? And vice versa, trying to throw them all under the bus, right? We've got to all work together and collaborate together and minimize the amount of confusion in the marketplace. Because if everyone's trying to say, I've got a better solution for things that they don't have a solution for, then we're actually doing our communities a huge disservice.
Yeah. Well, you have a lot of great tips and advice for practitioners about how they can communicate effectively with their patients, how they can put the word out into the community, how they can become a part of their community to do more for the greater good, and also how they can run their own life, their own practice in a way that allows them to give their best to their patients. Because when we're burnt out, when we are exhausted, overwhelmed, we can't be what we need to be for our patients. And
Mm-hmm.
so you have a lot of great tips, and we are so looking forward to hearing more. And we're so grateful that you're going to be joining us in Asheville.
Well, to be totally honest, the pleasure is all mine. So thank you. I appreciate it. And I look forward to an amazing event.
We look forward to it too. Thanks so much.